Rylan Clark reacted to Scott Mills taking the reins on BBC Radio 2 after he replaced Steve Wright. Rylan Clark, 34, praised his pal and fellow BBC colleague Scott Mills, 49, who will launch his weekday afternoon show on Radio 2 today. But the Strictly It Takes Two presenters post caused a stir as a social media critic urged bring back Steve Wright. Social media users flocked to comment on Rylan's initial tweet as they defended Scott and congratulated him on his new role. Rylan shared a photo alongside his co-star as he offered his support to the radio broadcaster just hours before his show debut. He told his 1.7 million followers, "Today my friend at Scott_Mills starts his brand new at BBC Radio 2 show. Not always do people get what they deserve in this industry, but thankfully he has. You deserve the world, Scott, and I'm proud to call you a friend. Always. Good luck, Judith XX." Sick, but not all welcomed the change as one social media critic claimed the BBC no longer catered to people over the age of 50. Twitter user, John, fumed, "Such a pity there's not a single BBC radio station that accommodates the over 50s anymore, not a single one," before adding, "Bring back Steve Wright." It comes after it was announced in July that Scott would replace show regular Steve Wright on BBC Radio 2's afternoon show. DJ Steve announced his weekday afternoon show is to end after more than 20 years. Wright said Radio 2's boss had told him she wanted to do something different with his mid-afternoon slot. Social media users have since rushed to comment on the initial tweet as many offered their support to Scott. James replied, "You've never heard of BBC Radio 3, 4, 5 or 40 local stations, or listened to other Radio 2 shows, Showtunes. Sounds of 60s FFS. You've also not heard Scott's new show. What makes you think it's somehow unsuitable for you? Is Ken Bruce only playing rave tunes these days? Sick." Maggie Moo commented, "I'm well over 60 and always have Radio 2 on. They have a good range of music, and yes, there may be the odd one that I don't like, but there's always the volume down option. Maybe try local radio or Magic FM." Rack penned, "I am over 50, and I love Scott. I stopped listening to Steve, because he wouldn't stop talking over records.